Welcome to the session on how OpenText and Microsoft partner up to deliver a solution targeted to tackle some of the hardest to detect threats, which are threats from the inside. Insider threats aren't one thing. They're three distinct patterns with very different drivers and costs. First, on the left, malicious insiders. These are employees or contractors who intentionally harm the organization. Think data theft on the way out the door or deliberate sabotage. They represent about 25% of incidents and cost organizations roughly $3.7 million per year. Motives range from financial gain to grievances. In the middle, and this is the big one, negligence or mistaken insiders. These are good people making bad choices, misconfiguring a cloud storage container, emailing the wrong file, reusing passwords. They account for 55% of incidents and drive the highest annual cost at $8.8 million. On the right, outsmarted accounts. 20% of incidents where outsiders gain access to internal system by using, for example, stolen credentials, costing $4.8 million annually. The social engineering techniques employed are getting more sophisticated, especially with AI in the picture. The takeaway, most of the risk and spend comes from everyday behavior. Advanced threats are, at their core, human threats. 75% of incidents involve a human element. Someone clicking, sharing, approving, or configuring. And here's the uncomfortable truth. 93% of employees say they knew their action increased risk, but they did it anyway, usually to get work done faster. That combination of pressure and convenience is exactly why insider risk keeps growing. What does it cost? On average, organizations are absorbing $17.4 million per year in insider-related losses, response, downtime, legal exposure, and reputational damage. Now, why do traditional defenses miss this? Because static, rule-based approaches assume yesterday's patterns will predict tomorrow's behavior. They struggle to catch, for example, credential theft, where a valid login looks normal until context says otherwise. Lateral movement, which blends in as routine access across systems. Privilege escalation, where rights are granted or abused in subtle, sanctioned ways. This matters because the adversary already speaks business as usual. To win, we need adaptive analytics, systems that learn each user's baseline, spot intent in real time, and enable timely remediation before damage spreads. Insider incidents are slow and pricey. Organizations take 81 days on average to contain a single event. The cost curve is brutal. If you close it in under 31 days, it's about $10.6 million. Wait until the average 81 days and it jumps to $17.4 million. Let it linger past 91 days and you're at $18.7 million. The message is speed. Shrink dwell time with adaptive user behavior analytics to spot anomalies and gain threat insights that matter. Every day saved materially reduces loss. Insider threats are hard to catch because they don't look like outsiders. First, these actors already have legitimate access. They're employees, contractors, or partners using real accounts from real machines. So the signals we rely on for external attacks, IP reputation, geofencing, exploit signatures, don't fire. Second, the timeline is long. These threats span days to months or, sometimes, even years. An insider will test boundaries, exfiltrate in pieces, or wait for the right business event. That stretched dwell time blends into normal work patterns. Third, the pace is low and slow. Instead of a noisy data dump, it's a few extra queries, a new share, a late-night download. Each action is explainable, the pattern is the problem. Fourth, they live off the land. No malware required, just VPNs, collaboration suites, PowerShell, cloud storage, and SaaS connectors you already allow. The toolchain is your environment. Finally, all of this is buried in billions of events. Traditional correlation rules and static thresholds drown in the noise or generate alert fatigue, so important context gets missed. Everything we've discussed ladders up to one point. If you can't detect it, you can't defend it. Built specifically to work with Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, Microsoft Entra ID, and Microsoft Security Copilot, OpenText core threat detection, and response finds what legacy rules miss, without the care and feeding burden. First, zero manual tuning. From day one, the platform baselines user, device, and service behavior and continuously adapts as your environment changes. No endless rule edits, no pipeline babysitting. That means your analysts focus on decisions, not maintenance. Second, it's AI-driven, with 10+ patents for uncovering threats from what might look normal to static tools. Third, it delivers. OpenText threat hunting services has been successful in achieving greater than 80% red team attack detection. Bottom line, core threat detection and response harnesses the contextual understanding of behaviors to engender an early warning system, delivering measurable risk reduction without manual tuning, and giving your analysts time back to hunt, respond, and harden. Detection is only half the battle. Context turns alerts into action. Core threat detection and response delivers that context automatically. First, auto-summary. Instead of sending analysts down rabbit holes, the system writes a clear, natural language brief for high-risk alerts to significantly streamline investigation. That alone could cut triage time from hours to minutes. Second, threat intelligence enrichment. We fuse curated threat intelligence with live telemetry to enrich relevance to elevate the probability of effective responses. Third, MITRE attack alignment. Each sequence is auto-classified to techniques and tactics, so you see the adversary stage in the kill chain, initial access, persistence, privilege escalation, lateral movement, or exfiltration. That makes reporting simple and response precise. Net impact. Fewer swivel chair investigations, much shorter MTTD and MTTR on some of the most damaging and difficult to find threats, and higher confidence in your team. Your analysts spend less time guessing and more time containing because they have the coveted insights at their fingertips. In essence, OpenText core threat detection and response allows you to distill billions of log events into thousands of instances of unusual behavior and surface the riskiest actors in your organization, be they users, machines, servers, domains, or other entities. It correlates binary and behavioral signals to deliver high-fidelity behavioral threat indicators that point to threats without your teams having to sort through thousands of alerts. In other words, it provides a handful of high-quality threat leads from which you can begin your investigations. Microsoft and OpenText are better together because we simplify the hardest threat detection. On the Microsoft side, you already have rich identity and endpoint telemetry, plus proven supervised machine learning and rule-based detections. On the OpenText side, you get unparalleled behavioral analytics and a track record of catching unknown threats and red team attacks that slip past conventional rule-based detection. OpenText core threat detection and response is continuous self-learning analytics that retrain on every new event, so detections evolve with your dynamic operating environment and your team doesn't have to worry about constant maintenance to keep up with the latest threats. This solution unmasks insider, novel and advanced persistent threats so your analysts can truly find what matters faster. If you are using Microsoft Defender for Endpoint or Microsoft Entra ID, do stop by the OpenText booth at Microsoft Ignite 2025 for a chat with our insider threat experts to learn more.